埋喺架車上面嘅警署嘅 custody desk。如果俾人拉咗，揾律師揾我哋推介嘅律師，唔好要警察推介嘅律師。No guilty solicitor， 唔好要 guilty solicitor。我哋推介嘅律師係 HJA， 一陣間 Ella 會派 bus card 俾大家 ，bus card 上面有推介嘅律師所 HJA， 推介律師所 HJA。記住唔好 accept caution。如果你見到有人俾警察拉或者搜身，可以 call 佢 legal observer LO。好，最快講多次，保護自己，保護其他人。No comment， no comment。Under what power？ Under what power？ 唔好幫警察做嘢。No personal details。No duty solicitor。揾律師揾 HJA， 揾律師揾 HJA。No caution。So now we'll do it in English very quickly. So I'm a legal observer. We are with the Green and Black Cross. We got a quick know your rights. If the police talk to you, no matter the question, protect yourself, protect other people, say no comment. The police officers in blue high-vis are also police officers. Their job is to gather information about protesters. Say no comment, no comment. If the police tell you to do something, check if they're acting lawfully. Ask, under what power? Under what power? If you get stopped and searched, do not give police personal details. That includes your visa status. No personal details. No personal details. An exception is if you get arrested, many people would like to give their name, address, and date of birth at the custody desk. At the custody desk inside the police station, not before. At the custody desk. If you get arrested, you can ask for a solicitor, a free loan solicitor. We'll hand over some bus cards. Call HJA for your solicitor. Do not go for the duty solicitor. No duty solicitor, go for HJA. Do not accept a caution. That's saying that you are guilty. That would be an easy way for the police. So do not accept caution. No caution. If you get arrested, call a protest support line number or get one of us, the legal observer. Protect yourself, protect other people, no comments. Thank you.
Thanks. You're out of shot. You're fine.
Hello， 大家好，多謝大家今日過嚟集會。我哋依家會邀請 Mark Nigel。Mark Nigel 係皇家鑄幣廠居民協會嘅一員，佢已經喺 Roman Court 呢度做咗30年嘅啦。咁我哋就會邀請佢上嚟講幾句。Please welcome Mark Nigel from the Roman Court Resident Association. Mark has been a resident for almost 30 years. Mark, please.
On the 17th of May 2018, the Roman Estate had a development plan in place, a plan that the local community had been consulted on and which all parties agreed to. This would have made the Roman grounds public room, would have established shops, cafes and offices. The plan would have brought in money to and for Tower Hamlets. Now just take a second to imagine what would have been like. People shopping, sipping drinks, sitting down and enjoying the sights of the Bristol part of London. The following day, the 18th of May 2018, that all changed. The land had been sold to the People's Republic of China and was to be where they planned to move their embassy. So no jobs, no shops, no money. In fact, London Borough Tower Hamlets would have spent time and resources to manage having an embassy in a borough. Just ask Wandsworth. Okay, right, okay. Again, take a moment to imagine what the place would be like if the River Embassy gets the go-ahead. security, CCTV, China's flag flying high, the Royal Mint would be a no-go zone. As important to the residents living on the Royal Mint were concerns about their safety, security, privacy, and in the worst case, that the residents would be removed from where they live and their homes demolished. This scenario was highlighted by an article in the Sunday Times on the 21st of December 2025. So after 7.5 years, we now found ourselves back outside the Royal Mint demonstrating against the mega embassy. But today is the most significant demonstration because in the next few days, the government will be announcing its decision. A decision that many feel will go in favour of the People's Republic of China. This feeling is because the UK government seems to have been managing the many issues towards the approval. They overrode the council, they overrode the Met Police, the UK security services also reversed their stance, which is completely different to what the security services of the US and Australia had said. I have attended many of the demonstrations since last February, and during these demonstrations I have spoken to several members of the diaspora groups. I have heard their concerns, hear about boundaries being issued, how they don't feel safe on the streets of the UK, telling stories of being followed, learning that their families were facing harassment in their homelands, and now they were concerned about secret rooms planned for the mega embassy. The embassy accuses anybody arguing against the mega embassy as being malicious and slandering the People's Republic of China. There is no slander. When there was a video footage showing a protester being dragged onto People's Republic on the land in Manchester, there is no slander when the bounty letters are posted online by concerned citizens. It is to those groups that I say, your fight is our fight, and our fight is yours. I look at the crowd assembled here and see determination to keep fighting, and that by any and all legal means we will. If the government goes ahead and approves the mega embassy, then the Royal Mint Association will challenge that decision. To help us continue this fight and challenge, we need funds. So I want to highlight the banner behind me and the QR codes. These will take you to a GoFundMe page. Please donate and please pass the details on to your contacts. And say, no mega embassy! No mega embassy! No mega embassy! Thank you.
No China mega embassy!
No China mega embassy!
Together! No China mega embassy!
No China mega embassy!
No China mega embassy!
No China mega embassy!
不要超級大使館！不要超級大使館！不要超級大使館！ This is our final chance for us to oppose the China mega embassy. So please raise your voice and ensure the UK government hears our demand. What is your demand today? What is your demand today? Yes, we have only one demand today. No China mega embassy. What do you want? When do you want it? When do you want it? Now. Yes, correct. When do you want it? What do you want? When do you want it? I want to tell Mark at the end, if the local residents have to initiate the judicial review to stop the irrational decision by the UK government, you will have our full support. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. No China mega embassy. 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 今日我哋企出嚟就係 生活嘅地方，就係要守護我哋嘅安全同埋自由，係咪？係咪？ We are sending our strong message to the UK government that is simple. No China American embassy. Say no to CCP. Say no to CCP. Say no to CCP.
係，跟住落嚟，我哋有請英國改革黨 Danny Kruger MP。Danny Kruger MP representing Reform UK and Devices constituency. Please welcome Mr. Kruger to give his remarks.
Thank you very much, and let me thank the organisers of today. But most of all, let me thank you for being here. You are doing a brave thing standing here this afternoon. We oppose this embassy because we know that the Chinese Communist Party does not believe in freedom. They will spy on Britain from this embassy just as they are spying on all of you who are here today. So I want to honour your courage. And I want to say I stand with you. Thank you. I stand as the representative of Reform UK. And I want to say this. We know that China will carry on spying. They will carry on oppressing their own people. They will carry on trying to harm the West, whatever happens, whether they get permission for this building or not. But my friends, today we have a chance. We have a moment here on this ground, at this moment, to send a signal that is heard in Beijing, to say enough to China, to say we see through your lies, Xi Jinping. And all the lies that he is saying about this embassy, they stand for all the lies that China speaks about its place in the world, about its peaceful intentions, about its respect for other countries, about its lack of any imperial ambitions. These are lies, and we have a better idea. This is why we recognise China is allied with the worst regimes in the world, in Russia, in Iran, in North Korea. And that is because China itself is the worst regime in the world today. And if it gets its way with projects like this, and with the technology that it is developing, China could become the worst regime in the history of the world. And that is why the British government must not let itself be bought by the Chinese Communist Party. For too long, British governments have closed their eyes to what China is doing in Xinjiang, in the region, in Africa, and in the West. It's too long that they have been lying to our people. And the British government has allowed this for the simple reason that it wanted China's money. And for what? To ruin our own industries, to put our own people out of work, to turn Britain into just another market for cheap Chinese goods. Well, I have a better idea of Britain than that. I think we are worth more than that. Reform UK will restore Britain's industrial economy, and we will recognise China for what it is, a grave adversary of prosperity, of freedom, and of this country. So I thank you once again. I honour you for your courage. I say we stand with you. Do not lose heart. The British people are with you. And one day we will have a government that puts the British people first, that stands for Britain and for freedom. Thank you.
What do you want? Louder! What do you want? Where do you want it? What do you want? When do you want it? 今日我哋要話俾英國政府知道，如果佢批准英國興建出個超級大使館，唔單止係會縱容跨境剝削，亦都會嚴重咁損害英國社會嘅本土利益，係咪？係咪？ So we have to urge the UK government to reject the CCP's application of building a mega embassy because approving such a mega embassy is simply a mega mistake. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. So I say mega embassy. You say mega mistake. Okay? Mega embassy. Mega embassy. Mega embassy. Mega embassy. And today I'm sure someone as I appoint by the CCP from this building is watching us. So I would like to invite all of you to say hi to them. Please raise your finger to them. Shame on you! Together, do it together. Raise your finger. I'm not sure which finger you are using, but raise your finger. Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Stop transnational repression! So, we try a different one. Repression across borders. No more. Not here. It's okay? Repression across borders. Repression across borders. Repression across borders. Bow to China. Bow to China. So I say bow to China. You say lost forever. Is okay? Bow to China. Bow to China.
我哋依家邀請 Bobby Dean。Bobby Dean 係自由民主黨嘅MP。Bobby Dean is a Liberal Democrat for Carshalton and Mornington constituency. Please welcome Bobby.
Thank you everyone for coming today and for committing to fighting this scheme right the way until the end. Earlier this week, the government tried to insult our intelligence. As news broke about their secret plan to knock down the basement wall and push out right up to important communication lines, the government lectured us about the planning process. This is a disgrace. Now, they're trying to pretend that this is just another application. They talk to us about the many venues that China already has in the UK and tell us about how this is a quasi-judicial planning application in which they have no part to play in. But this is not just any planning application. This is a test. It is a test of the government's resolve in standing up to China. It is a test of the government's willingness to defend Hong Kongers and other persecuted communities in this country. It is a test of whether or not they are willing to trade away national security in a desperate bid for growth. Now we know that sometime in the next couple of weeks, the Prime Minister is going to hop on a plane with a begging bowl to Beijing. He's going to try and secure a trade deal with China. And having failed to secure the release of Jimmy Lai, having failed to tackle transnational repression on our soil, and having gifted one of the biggest diplomatic gifts he could give to a hostile state, this giant mega embassy, he was trying to strike a deal on that basis. And how do we think China will respond to such cowardice? I think they will look at Britain as weak and they will strike a deal on that basis. But it doesn't have to be this way. Instead, Prime Minister Keir Starmer next week, he could reject this embassy. He could cancel his visit to Beijing, and he could demand that he will not get on a plane until Jimmy Lai comes back in the other direction. That to me is the strength that Britain should be showing. That is our demand on the Prime Minister this week. Be brave, stand strong, reject this mega embassy. Thank you.
Long China mega embassy! Long China mega embassy! What do you want? What do you want? When do you want it? When do you want it? Repression across borders. No more. Not here. So I say repression across borders. What do you say? Repression across borders. Repression across borders. The Prime Minister is about to visit China. Once again, we should remind him, don't bow to China. Bow to China. Bow to China. Bow to China. Say no to CCP. Say no to CCP. Say no to CCP. We have seen that the people of many countries have risen up to resist the authoritarian regimes. And we hope that they will succeed soon. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. The people will win the democracy and freedom they deserve. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people.我哋見到咧，有好多國家嘅人民咧，都起嚟反抗專制政權。我哋希望佢哋早日可以獲得成功，係咪？係咪？我哋相信所有被壓迫嘅人民，遲早係會得到佢哋應有嘅民主同埋自由，係咪？係咪？No China mega embassy. No China mega embassy. No China mega embassy. No China mega embassy. No China mega embassy.
Okay, shortly the Leader of the Opposition will be joining us. Before she does, please welcome to the stage to give some remarks Rahima Mahmood, who's a Uyghur survivor and who looks after the World Uyghur Congress and Stop Uyghur Genocide. Rahima, come to the stage.
Good afternoon, friends, allies, supporters. I stand here today not just as an activist, but as a Uyghur woman who knows what it means to live under the shadow of the Chinese state. That shadow followed me from my homeland, where my people are being subjected to genocide. Through forced sterilization, forced abortion, mass detention, forced labor, and the erasure of our culture, faith, and language. It followed me into exile, where my family was cut off,
punished simply because I speak out here. And now that shadow threatens to grow larger right here in London. A Chinese mega embassy is not just a building. For communities like ours, it represents surveillance, intimidation, and fear. We know this from lived experience. Wherever the Chinese state extends its reach, repression follows across borders, into diaspora, into supposedly safe democratic spaces. This is not paranoia, it is reality. Uyghurs, Hong Kongers, Tibetans, Chinese dissidents, and others have already experienced harassment, monetary, and threats on British soil. Approving this mega embassy sends a chilling message that our safety is negotiable, that economic interests matter more than human lives. The UK must ask itself, whose side are you on? You cannot claim to stand for human rights while enabling the machinery of repression at your doorstep. You cannot honor victims of genocide while normalizing relations with the perpetrators without accountability. We are here today to say no more shadows, no more silence. This country gave many of us refuge. Do not turn that refuge into another place of fear. Stand with the victims, not the perpetrators. Stand for dignity, freedom, and justice. And stop this mega embassy before the shadow grows any darker. Thank you.
No China mega embassy!
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 Again I say, mega embassy. What do you say?
No.
Make a mistake. Make an embassy.
Mega mistake!
Louder. Make an embassy.
Mega mistake!
Make an embassy.
Mega mistake!
Make an embassy.
Mega mistake!
So I would like to invite you to do some exercise together in order to, heat up your body because the weather is getting cold. You want? Yeah. Yep. Can you free your hands? Maybe some people are holding the podcast. If you want to join, you can put down your podcast and afterwards you can pick them up again. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah. So we are now protesting against transnational repression. So when I say repression across borders, no more. You do it. Not here. Is it difficult? Is it easy enough? Repression across borders. No more. Together. Repression across borders. No more. Not here. Repression across borders. No more. Not here. Again together to show our solidarity. Repression across borders. No more. Not here. Very good. Excellent. Thank you. city and our safety. When I say no China mega embassy, you say protect our city. It's okay? No China mega embassy. Protect our city. No China mega embassy. Protect our city. No China mega embassy. Protect our city. This time, I say no China mega embassy. You say protect our safety. No mega embassy. Protect our safety. No China mega embassy. Protect our safety. No China mega embassy. Protect our safety. No China mega embassy. Protect our safety. Okay. Someone suggests protect our country. That is real because the China mega embassy will harm everyone in this country. Do you agree? Yes! No China mega embassy! No China mega embassy! No China mega embassy! Thank you.
跟住落嚟，我哋有請 Sir Ian Duncan-Smith MP。Sir Ian Duncan-Smith MP representing the Conservative Party at Chingford and Woodford Green. Please welcome Sir Ian.
It's always good as a politician to be surprised that you actually want to speak. So I'm going to be brief, and you will regret that that will go on for some time. I want to say one thing, and one thing only at the beginning. I want to tell you that I am here, we are here, politicians and others, with you, because we believe in freedom. Freedom in the United Kingdom, and freedom one day in China. And the reality for us right now is that we face a significant problem. We have a government here that wants us to approve the largest embassy complex in Europe. Absolutely. What do we say to this proposal? No, not here. No, not here. And I have to tell you now that there are some politicians who are hiding their heads on this and don't want to be seen protesting this. Well, those of us that are here today will stand against tyranny. We have a major problem. We have China, North Korea, Russia and Iran in a new axis that threatens the very freedoms that we in the United Kingdom believe, and many of you who have fled here. We say to President Xi, who said only a few months ago that his purpose with those allies was to have a new world order. That new world order will be of tyranny, of repression, of an end of freedom, an end to the right to protest, no judicial rights in face of the law, and total control. What do we say to that proposal? No! 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 And also I say to all of you here, we should bear in mind that there is another group that is serious vested interest in this problem. And they are the residents, the British residents that live on the site. Let us give them a big cheer and show that we are with them in their struggle against this embassy. Hooray! And also I say to all of you, that as we come forward now to an overarching, overweening, powerful dictatorship in China. We must remember that we have faced this before in the United Kingdom. We have faced it in the 1930s and 40s when we made big mistakes in not recognizing that a totalitarian state had its mind to overtake and overcome this marvelous democracy with its freedoms enshrined in law. Well, they failed then, and almost too late did we realize that and stand against them. This embassy isn't just about an embassy. This embassy is a token of what we believe in. It will be a blister on the face of freedom in the United Kingdom and all that we stand for. America is against this embassy. All of the Five Eyes countries are against this embassy. And many in Europe are also against this embassy. Why doesn't the government listen and do the right thing? This is the wrong embassy, in the wrong place, at the wrong time, for the wrong pleasure today to introduce. Well, we've got another guest speaker coming, and I didn't want to give out her name too early. She's arriving very, very shortly. Let me tell you something about this. It's quite a big deal for a leader of a party to come to this location and stand with you, with those who are going to suffer if this embassy is here. One of the key reasons why this leader of a party is coming here today is because she has witnessed the transnational repression that has been taking place in the UK under the eyes of government, under the eyes of the police. Too many of those who have fled tyranny in Hong Kong, coming to this country believing in our protection and our freedom, have, I'm afraid, been betrayed. Too many of those who work for the CCP, who go out daily to try and target those individuals, those brave people that you are here who are still believing in freedom, and we haven't done enough to protect you. I promise you, we'll stand by those who suffer from transnational repression. And I therefore now want to introduce the leader of the opposition, the leader of the Conservative Party, and may I tell you with some satisfaction, I believe the next Prime Minister of this great country, Kenny Badenoch.
Good afternoon, everybody. I cannot tell you what an honour and a privilege it is to be with you all today. I want you all to know that I understand and I am with you. For those of you who don't know, I grew up under a dictatorship. I know what it is like to live under a government that you are terrified of. I know what it is like to be afraid of what will happen to you if you speak out. For journalists to be murdered, for people to be hounded out of the country. I understand, and that is why I know it is wrong for this super embassy to be built here on this site. China is a country that has harassed and sanctioned our MPs like Ian. China is a country that has harassed and abused British nationals connected to China. It helps our enemies like Russia. It keeps slaves. It disrupts the global trade system. We know that we have to stand up to the abuses of China. And what worries me is that we have a government right now that seems to be scared of China. We have a government that is afraid, too weak, no backbone. What we need right now is a government that will act in the British national interest and protect those people who are fighting for those Chinese citizens who are suffering. I am standing here with you today because I believe in freedom. I am standing with you today because I know what it is like to live without freedom. We take it for granted in the United Kingdom because we have had it for so long. But those who have lived under oppressive regimes, those who have lived under authoritarianism, those who have lived under communism know what that suffering is like, and we do not want to see that here. So I speak right now as the leader of the opposition, the leader of the Conservative Party. I stand with you. I tell you that I will always fight for freedom, and I am calling on the government to stop this decision. We do not want a country that spies on our MPs having this super embassy right here. And I will do everything within my power to continue speaking on your behalf. All of you here today are so brave. I see the bravery. I know how difficult it is. I do not want you to be spied on. I do not want you to be hounded. I do not want you to be trapped into a makeshift police station. This is a free country. We must always guarantee freedom, and we need a government with a backbone and a prime minister who is not weak, who will look after our national interests and make sure that he supports British values, of which freedom is the primary one. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all of you. I'm so proud to be here, and I will continue doing everything that I can to fight for your cause. Thank you.
No China Mega Embassy! No China Mega Embassy! No China Mega Embassy! China lies! China lies! China lies! China lies! Protect UK security! Protect UK security! Protect UK security! Free Hong Kong! 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 Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Southern Mongolia! 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 Free Myanmar! Free Myanmar! Free Myanmar! Free Myanmar! Free Pakistan! Free Pakistan! Free Pakistan! Free Pakistan! Xi Jinping, shame on you! 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 Thank you, everyone. We're now going to begin with the open mic session. And for our first speaker, I'd like to invite Christopher Mound from the Hong Kong Labour Rights Monitor. Thank you. Next Tuesday is the final deadline for the announcement. Critical moment. We once again here to make our strong demand to the UK government No China mega embassy! No China mega embassy! No China mega embassy! What we are asking for is simple. That the UK government keep the promise it has already made to us to protect our safety and to protect the freedom of expression. If the UK government opposed the China Mecca embassy, it would not only fail to keep that promise, it would actively engage, enable, and encourage the CCP's transnational repression. Why do I say this? Because the CCP has never stopped issuing bounties and arrest warrants against Hong Kongers here, simply for exercising their freedom of speech. Because after Chinese consular officials attacked protesters inside the Manchester consulate, the UK government still failed to hold anyone criminally accountable, demonstrating how the CCP abused diplomatic privilege. Because the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office in London hired agents to spy on and harass a senior manager of that office is still facing legal proceedings under the UK national security law. There are countless real and living examples proving that CCP treats its diplomatic missions as hubs for intelligence gathering and repression. The evidence is overwhelming. Therefore, we strongly urge the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, today, what you must do is to firmly reject the CCP's application of building a trial. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. And further, conduct a full investigation into all past abuse of diplomatic privilege and violation of human rights committed by the CCP. You must genuinely fulfill your promise to protect the freedom of expression and the personal safety for everyone threatened by the CCP. Brothers and sisters, regardless of what the outcome is next Tuesday, our struggle against CCP authoritarianism is far from over. Although we are from different backgrounds, we are sharing our common wish. Everyone don't need to live in fear, and we can express our thoughts freely. I strongly believe that one day we will win the democracy and freedom we deserve. Power to the people! 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 Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher Long from Hong Kong Labour Rights Monitor. For our next speaker, I'd like to invite Julie Kind from Stars of Myanmar Friendship. As you know, in Myanmar they're currently facing a brutal civil war, one that is backed by the Chinese regime. So thank you, Julie.
Hi, thank you everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon everyone for standing together against to say no to CCP China Mega Embassy. It is vital for people like us who are from the countries bullied by China, as this is going to be based for Chinese spies. And we don't know what China gonna use for these huge blazers, 208 secret rooms. So, as the introduction, I am from Burma. Our country is in military coup. Myanmar military is supported by China CCP. They sell the weapons every day. Because of CCP, Myanmar military can do airstrike to everywhere, the whole country. Every day we are suffering airstrikes. And then also a lot of supporting internationally by CCP. So Myanmar military is committing war criminal. CCP is supporting. CCP is also war criminal too. And the other thing, CCP is war criminal. And I also, I heard about that. This is not only our safety. Safety to the UK, safety to the local residents. I also would like to add safety to the world. Why? Why? Because in our country, CCP support collusion with Myanmar military. CCP support scam networks, scammers, online scammers. They are threatening. US aware that, United States aware that. So CCP supports scam networks. CCP are also scammers. That's why this is threatening not only to the UK, to the whole world. Please let our Prime Minister carefully consider your position. This is not only to the UK, not only to the local resident, to the whole world, online scammer. This is only one highlighting. But China is bullying everything taken from our country. But anyway, let me conclude. No CCP to China mega, no CCP China mega embassy from Burmese people as well. Okay, so the trade with all the local residents and then Taiwanese, Uyghur, Hakamis. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you for raising awareness of what's happening in Myanmar. For our next speaker, I'd like to invite Ms. Tenzin Salmo, the regional coordinator for the Tibetan community in Britain, and my fellow community member. Tenzin Salmo, thank you.
No mega Chinese embassy. No mega Chinese embassy. No mega Chinese embassy. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Steve Reed. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. What do we want? What do we want? No mega China embassy. What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? We reject, we reject. Chinese mega embassy, okay? We reject, we reject. We reject, we reject. Shame, shame. Shame, shame.
behalf of my Tibetan community in UK, I would like to extend a warm Tachitalek and sincere thank you to all of you for being here, and especially to Kami, the opposition leader, who took time out for this very important, critical, and momentous Bridge the Gap rally, no matter of London. My community in the UK, I'm a nurse in NHS, and I came all the way from Bristol today to amplify our voices to ensure they are heard by the Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government, Mr. Steve Reed, before he made this historical decision on the proposed mega Chinese embassy on 20th of January, just a few days from now. Mr. Reed, your decision to reject this proposal matters most to us today. As a Tibetan, I'm here because I want to tell you that Tibet, my country, has been illegally occupied by the Chinese Communist authoritarian regime since 1959. Tibetans are denied of the fundamental human rights, our rich cultural heritage has been systematically destroyed, our religious and worship sites have been demolished. Around 1 million Tibetan innocent children have been forcefully taken away from their parents and placed into Chinese colonial boarding school with the aim to wipe out our rich culture, language, and identity. There is no religious freedom. Our monasteries are under strict Chinese state cultural surveillance and monitoring. Our history is rewritten. Tibetan language education has been banned in schools. Our cities are flooded with heavy policing and digital surveillance. Every movement and every voice is monitored, questioned, and suppressed. Our singers, writers, artists, and innocent Tibetans are detained, persecuted, and imprisoned merely for singing songs in praise of a spiritual leader, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. The Panchen Lama, who was only 6 years old, was forcefully abducted by the Chinese Communist Party and remained disappeared to this day. His whereabouts still unknown. Due to unbearable repression and ongoing cultural genocide, many Tibetans have resorted to the most extreme form of protest, self-immolation, to protest Chinese illegal occupation of Tibet and to call for the return of His Holiness the Dalai Lama to Tibet. The situation inside Tibet is worsening. I want to say shame on China. And this list is endless. Shame on China. Shame on China. Shame on China. That is why today I ask, why on earth is our government being lured by Chinese fancy words and dangerous delusions? I stand here today as a Tibetan and as a British Tibetan to tell the UK government, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer and Mr. Steve Reed, open your eyes, open your ears, open your senses. China and the CCP are stretching their legs and their powers and influence far beyond their borders. They are strengthening extraterritorial control through expansionist strategies, and now they are coming to the UK. The mega Chinese embassy would serve as a form of sharp power designed to pierce, penetrate, perforate, and undermine our vibrant city, our culture, and the democratic political environment through surveillance, interference, intimidation, weakening our legislation system and the legitimacy of our advocacy organizations, and hinder their functionality. Across diaspora community stories, and I have evidence, I want to keep them anonymous. There are Chinese embassy officials and their proxies gather information on activists and community leaders, surveil individuals, intimidate families back in Tibet, exploit cyber vulnerabilities, and silence voices through fear. The same mechanism used soil. This proposed mega embassy site, as exposed by the Telegraph, sits close to underground infrastructure carrying sensitive financial data and reportedly includes 208 secret rooms. This is deeply concerning and worrying. It risks becoming a hub for intimidation, espionage, and transnational repression right in the heart of London, a city that claims to stand for freedom. This proposal is extremely concerning and represents a serious threat to our democracy, public safety, human rights, and national security. Let us not repeat these past mistakes again. The residents of Tower Hamlets have spoken loudly and clearly in opposition. If, I say if, the 1.7 billion Stonehenge A303 tunnel project was axed in 2024 due to public opposition, why can't we stop this? If the A27 Arundel bypass was cancelled due to resistance from residents and environmental groups, why can't we? If the northern legs of HS2 rail project were cancelled due to public concern, cost and environmental issues, then why can't we cancel this? This is about national security. This is about fear, espionage. This is about intimidation and transnational repression on our own British soil. This is unacceptable. I live in this country. I pay my taxes. I'm a British Tibetan. And I contribute to society. And I expect my government to listen to our voices, to our fears, and to our warnings. I ask Mr. Steve Reed to reject, and say a big clear no to this proposal. Even if Prime Minister Keir Starmer visits China, he must go with pride, carrying British values and principles of democracy and fairness. True leadership means having the courage to say no when it matters the most. The 2018 Boris Johnson's Royal Mint Court deal was a disastrous mistake. Another blunder like Brexit. This proposal must be re-examined and rejected. Finally, I want to thank the MPs who have raised concern in Parliament and stood up to national sovereignty and security. We need more leaders like you. And to our own supporters who are here, I want to say thank you. Because of our grassroots actions and leaders and community strength and solidarity, the opposition to this mega embassy is growing stronger every day. I believe that on 20th of January, Mr. Reid will make the right decision with no excuses and reject this proposal for the good of the nation, for the good of this city, and for the good of our democracy. Democracy means listening to the people. And people say here today, reject it. Axis, say no to Chinese big mega embassy. To my dear Tibetans, Uyghurs, Taiwanese, Chinese residents, Hong Kongers, Falun Gong practitioners, Southern Mongolians, East Turkestan, and the residents of Tower Hamlet here, never give up. We will fully support the legal challenges and for the judicial review. Until then, we shall never rest. We shall continue to fight until the government change their mind. Thank you very much. Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! A big no to a big Chinese mega embassy. No, no! No, no! No, no! No and never! No and never! No to Chinese mega embassy! No to Chinese mega embassy! Freedom and free Tibet. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you to Tenzin Salmo. I'd like to invite the next speaker, A representative from Reading UK stands in Hong Kong, Andy Ong. Thank you.
The former councillor in Hong Kong and a current Liberal Democrat Rockingham Borough Councillor. No to Chinese supremacy! No to Chinese supremacy! Fight for freedom! Fight for freedom! 我今日首先會以廣東話發言，然後到英文。Today I will speak in Cantonese first, followed by English. 多謝來自英國各地嚟聲援嘅朋友，亦都好多謝各位咁多，我見到好似今次係最多嘅記者朋友、各黨派各組織嘅議員同成員，多謝晒大家。相信大家都知道，上個禮拜有媒體收到資料，發現喺中國向大家隱瞞嘅地下一張圖則裏邊，係可以擺放大量電子間諜裝置嘅空間，就喺嗰度。係過到嚟倫敦嘅金融光纖電纜只有1米，而喺外交特權之下，中共擺啲乜英國警察係入唔到去查嘅。呢個係咪對英國國家安全嘅最大威脅？大家係咪啊？除咗好多媒體關注嘅呢一點，我吳兆康仲好關注到好多地下暗無天日外面睇唔到嘅大小房間，喺佢嗰張遮住嘅圖俾人爆咗料出嚟嘅圖嗰度，記者長鏡頭影唔到。航拍機會睇唔到，英國警察入唔到，究竟裏邊攞嚟做啲乜嘅咧？係咪攞嚟韞住英國唔聽話嘅人？係咪攞嚟韞住流亡英國嘅人？會唔會有朝一日，我吳兆康都會喺個地下室裏邊咧？無論幾日後呢個領事館係咪通過，我哋都要繼續努力阻止中國喺英國予取予攜。喺下個月，我有機會約到國家安全大臣針對香港人嘅安全開會。我一定會為我盡我所能，為我嘅安全，從大家嘅安全去努力。我吳兆康喺英國做議員嘅第1屆任期將會去到今年嘅5月。喺呢一屆，我吳兆康最自豪嘅事就係能夠用在英港人嘅身份喺英國嘅體制裏邊繼續為香港人發聲。我最自豪嘅動議就係舊年我哋反對中國超級使館同埋爭取 BNO 權益嘅動議，但係我知道如果冇大家要外面支持我哋係絕對唔能夠成功做到呢啲嘢嘅。多謝大家，我會繼續盡我嘅努力，用我嘅議員身份喺議會裏邊、喺議會外邊、喺黨德會度、喺聽證會度、喺媒體面前、喺官員面前、喺英國人面前為香港人發聲。可以做到能力範圍之內做到嘅事，能夠示威嘅示威，能夠寫信嘅寫信，能夠投票嘅投票。今日係超級大使館，聽日就嚟到 BNO， 再後日又唔知有乜嘢去挑戰我哋。但係無論點，我哋香港人要喺度不斷發聲，將不公義嘅事情揚出嚟，從而推動民意，從而改變個政策。大家好唔好啊？好！最後多謝大家今日嚟，大家一齊，我哋喺街頭先有力量；大家一齊，我哋喺議會先有力量；大家一齊，我哋香港人喺英國先有力量。No to Chinese supremacy. Fight for freedom. Fight for freedom. I am Andy Suhong, a former councillor in Hong Kong who fled to the UK and current Liberal Democrat Rockingham Borough Councillor. Thank you to fans from all over the UK who come to stand with us, and special thanks to journalists and to MPs and members from different parties and organizations. Thank you. Let us continue this discussion with public awareness and make a difference. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. Last week, the media uncovered a suspected underground spy facility that may have been planted, located just 1 meter from London fiber cables. under diplomatic protections. The British police will not inspect this area. I believe this is a serious threat to the UK national security. Do you agree? Yes! Besides, I'm also concerned about many others underground rooms that cannot be seen from the outside, cannot be detected by drones, and cannot be entered by the British police. So, what are these rooms really for? To detain people in the UK who oppose the CCP? To detain those who have fled to the UK in exile? And will there become a day I, NDE, might find myself taken into one of them? European Liberal Council passed my motion opposing the Chinese Super Embassy and sent a letter to Deputy Prime Minister to express our concerns. Many newspapers across different boroughs report on this, raising even greater public awareness across our community. And our message to the Chinese Super Embassy is clear. No! Whatever the outcome in the coming days, we must continue our effort to stop China from acting unchecked in the UK. Next month, I will have the opportunity to meet with the Security Minister to discuss the safety of Hong Kongers. I will continue to do everything I can to protect my safety and your safety. Do we want a Overseas Police Station? No! Do we want a spy base? No! Do we want a country to depend on dictators? No! No matter the color of your skin, no matter where you come from, no matter what party you support, we all don't want the UK to be put at risk. We all don't want our freedom to be harmed. We all don't want this great country, the mother of parliaments, to go soft on dictatorship. Can we stand firm for our safety? Yes. Can we stand firm for democracy? Yes. Can we stand with Hong Kong? Yes. We must stand firm. From London to Brighton, from Reading to Scotland, from the council to parliament, on the street or on the line. Together, we are strong. Together, we will win. No matter how long it takes, and no matter how hard it may be, we will never surrender. Fight for freedom. Stand with Hong Kong. No to Chinese embassy. Hong Kong Yan. Hong Kong Yan. Hong Kong Yan. Hong Kong Yan.
Thank you, Andy.
Fight for freedom! Fight for freedom! Stand with Hong Kong! Fight for freedom! Fight for freedom!
For our next speaker, he's a friend to all of us, a cross-movement supporter for decades. I'd like to invite Nick Whelan onto the stage.
Friends, today has been quite some afternoon. To get the leader of the opposition here, leader of a political party, is quite a coup. So I want to start off by saying the thank yous, a few thank yous. The first thank you is to all the speakers who have given up their time, given us their wisdom, given us their energy to keep fighting. Because whether Starmer says yes or no, we will not stop. And we will keep fighting until that building there is free of the Chinese Communist Party. I want to say a big thank you to the organisers. Today, we have been treated to some very high-profile politicians. Apart from Kelly Badenoch, Syrian, Duncan Smith, who's been a tireless supporter of the anti-CCP cause and for human rights throughout his political career. We've had politicians from other parties to give their heartfelt support. The third thank you is to our friends the Metropolitan Police, who don't always get the thanks they deserve. But they are what protects us from the bad will and the bad deeds of actors like the Chinese Communist Party. We have a lot more to fear from the Chinese Communist Party than they have from us. And if Sir Keir does say yes to the mega embassy, we will need your protection, colleagues in the Metropolitan Police, more than ever. The Chinese Communist Party are known for their long reach. And I would also like to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the trouble and the effort to come here. You are what makes these protests a success. You bring the reporters here, and the reporters magnify our message throughout the country. And a thank you to the media and the reporters. So, a few home truths. We've all heard about the national security threat. I won't go into detail. It made the Telegraph front page earlier this week, and we should be thankful to all the national media that are reporting it. Secondly, second home truth, British citizens and refugees will feel less safe in the streets of our own country if the Chinese Communist Party get a foothold in their mega embassy. The third home truth is simply this: the Chinese Communist Party's human rights abuse record, and that should speak for itself. Sir Keir Starmer, you are a human rights lawyer, for God's sake. You know what a human right is better than most of us. What on earth are you, as our Prime Minister and Labour government, doing, even thinking about giving the Chinese Communist Party a mega embassy? Sir Keir Starmer and Labour government, you have eyes. Are you blind to the Chinese Communist Party human rights abuses? Sir Keir Starmer and Labour government, you have ears. Have you not heard the warnings? The warnings from British security services, MI6, GCHQ, the Metropolitan Police. Sir Keir Starmer and Labour government, you have a heart. Do you not feel the suffering of the Tibetans, of the Uyghurs, of the Hong Kongers, of the Southern Mongolians, of the Chinese dissidents? And Sir Keir and Labour government, if you have a conscience, you will do the right thing and say no to the Chinese Communist Party mega embassy. We have a vote. And for those who don't have a vote at the moment, you will have a vote in the future. So our message to Sir Keir and Labour government is we will remember your decision when we vote in future elections. And finally, friends, we have a message to the Chinese Communist Party. Mega embassy, don't come to London. CCP, go back to hell.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. And for our next speaker, I'd like to invite Benedict Rogers, who many of you will know.
Bonfoot Hong Kong. Bonfoot Hong Kong. Bonfoot Hong Kong. Free Tibet. Stop Uyghur genocide. Free China. I want to say firstly how amazing it was to hear from the leader of the opposition and from other politicians from across parties, and also how wonderful it is to see so many people here from not only the Hong Kong and Tibet and Uyghur and Chinese dissident communities, but also friends from Burma or Myanmar, and I think maybe from Ukraine and other dictatorships or conflict situations that the Chinese Communist Party is itself facilitating and enabling. You know, we have over the last year been here many times. I kind of think we should just move into that building. We've been here so often. This is our 9th protest, but it is the most important protest because unless the government changes its mind in the next few days, its decision is imminent, and that's why we are gathered here today. You all know that we all know the reasons why this embassy should not go ahead. The issues of transnational repression, the issues of the human rights crisis across China, and the CCP's espionage. And if you weren't familiar with the issues, and if you haven't been following the news, just look at the front page of the Telegraph this week. China Embassy's secret threat to the city. So we say collectively with a very loud voice, Keir Starmer, do not approve this mega embassy. Of course China must have an embassy in this city, but they can have another location that is less prominent, less historic, less symbolic, and less big. It should have an embassy for purely diplomatic purposes and not a spy centre and a hub for transnational repression, which is what this building will be. But I want to say something a little bit new. I know time is limited, and so I want to be brief. And I'm not going to rehearse all the different arguments in detail, but I want to say something in addition to what we all have been talking about today, and that is granting this mega embassy, this super spy base, this hub for transnational repression is wrong at any time. But it is especially wrong when there is a 78-year-old courageous British citizen who has been in solitary confinement in a jail in Hong Kong for the last 5 years and faces the possibility of dying in jail, and that, of course, is Jimmy Lai. To give this embassy to the butchers of Beijing, while Jimmy Lai languishes in jail and faces perhaps a life sentence, whether a legal life sentence or just the practical reality of the fact that his health and his age mean he's unlikely to live until his release. To do that is completely wrong. Keir Starmer, we believe, is planning to go to Beijing at the end of this month. He should not go to Beijing unless Jimmy Lai is released. Jimmy Lai's release should be a condition for that visit. And I have one last suggestion. Instead of approving this mega embassy, this super spy base, this hub for transnational repression, instead of doing that, Tower Hamlets Council, and by the way, I want to express my solidarity with the residents of Royal Mint Court, because that's another argument. They will, if this goes ahead, either be evicted from their homes or become residents of the People's Republic of China, neither of which is. But Tower Hamlets Council, some while back, passed, if I recall, a motion to rename the streets, and I think that motion should be revived. Let's rename this street Hong Kong Avenue, and that street Tibet Road, and another street Uyghur Avenue. And let's also have a Taiwan square. And most of all, let's rename not just this plaza here, but this whole intersection, Jimmy Lai Junction. That, I think, would be a much better use of the government's time, attention and resources, and it would be what we all want. So we will not give up. We will support the residents of Royal Court if it comes to it for a judicial review, but let's hope it doesn't come to it. But whatever happens, let's continue to raise our voices and to say a mega no to this mega embassy.
Thank you, Benedict Rogers. And for our next speaker, I'd like to invite the President of the UK Uyghur Community, Moira.
Hello everyone, friends, sisters, brothers, media, Member of Parliament, and everyone who believes in freedom and safety. So we're here today because this proposed Chinese mega embassy is not normal diplomacy. It's a power project, and for Uyghurs in the UK, it presents a direct real threat. Uyghurs know what repression looks like. In our homeland, we cannot protest, we cannot speak without risking detention, disappearance, or worse. Uyghurs in the UK have been followed, filmed at peaceful demonstration, and intimidated into silence. Some are afraid to show their faces because they know what transnational repression looks like. Threatening here, punishment there. When you can threaten someone's loved ones overseas, you don't need to arrest them in Britain. You just need to frighten them. That's why this mega embassy matters. A larger, more fortified, more resource compound is not just a building. It means more capacity, more civilians, more monitoring, more intimidation. It will deepen fear in our community and shrink our rights in practice, not by changing British law, but by making people too afraid to use it. And let's be clear, this is not only an Uyghur issue. This is British national security and sovereignty issue. If any foreign authoritarian state can intimidate communities inside the UK, then British authority over its own public life is weakened. If protesters can be monitored, if critics can be pressured, if people self-censor out of fear, then free speech and democratic participation are being eroded. Today, it's Uyghur, Hong Kongers, Tibetan, Taiwanese activists, Chinese dissidents, journalists, academics, but tomorrow even British elected officials who speaks up. So we ask the British government, whose safety matters, will the UK defend the rights to protest without intimidation? Will it protect communities targeted by foreign repression? Or will it allow fear to quietly take root in London? We say today clear, no to intimidations, no to civilians, no to transnational repression on British soil, no to Chinese mega embassy. And we say yes to freedom, safety, and the right to speak without fear. We will say clearly to Chinese government that you will not stop us to fight for our freedom and our human rights. No to mega embassy! No to mega embassy! No to mega embassy! No to mega embassy! Free Uyghurs! Free Uyghurs! Free Turkestan! Free Turkestan! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Hong Kong! Free Hong Kong! Free South of Mongolia! Free South of Mongolia! King Hans of Taiwan! King Hans of Taiwan! Thank you.
Thank you, Moira. For our next speaker, I'd like to invite Simon Chen from Hong Kongers in Britain.
I stand here with voices from across the Parliament. across the parties, including the MPs and even officials within Labour who oppose the Chinese Communist Party's mega embassy plan. This is not a party politics issue. It is a question of national security, democratic integrity, and a long-term responsibility. And this is the moment to speak clearly. No one here is opposing diplomacy. China, like any country, has the right to diplomatic representation. Dialogue matters, engagement matters. But diplomacy must never become exposure, and engagement must never override the judgment. What is being proposed is not a routine embassy upgrade. This would be the largest Chinese embassy in Europe, placed in a highly sensitive part of London, close to the City of London, near critical data and financial infrastructures, and surrounded by dense public space and civic life. Scale matters, location matters, and track record matters. We must be honest about the nature of the Chinese. When we describe it as a belligerent authoritarian power, this is not a rhetoric. It is a pattern. It is a long-term trajectory. We have seen the freedoms dismantled in Hong Kong, in breach of Sino-British international commitment and treaty. We have seen threats towards the democracy in Taiwan, and we have seen civilians, coercion, and intimidation on the China's border. This is not speculation. It is a lived reality. Many in Hong Kong, Uyghur, Tibetan, and Chinese communities here in the UK know this reality every day and know it personally. In the official consultations, we are often treated as the community concern. It's a group to be managed quietly, separately, and sometimes cautiously. But let me be clear, Hong Kongers in Britain have never hidden who we are, and we have never softened our stance. Because our experience demands it, we do not ask for special treatment, we ask for moral clarity. When Hong Kongers raise the alarm, we do so not out of fear, but out of responsibility. To listen politely while disregarding those warnings is not neutrality, it is a choice. We have already seen our warnings come true on the British soil. In Manchester, a peaceful protest outside the Chinese consulate, and with our protester being dragged inside and assaulted by the diplomats, the Chinese diplomats. Whatever legal argument followed, the message was clear. The boundary between diplomatic space and public space was treated as optional. That should have been a warning. If this can happen at an existing consulate, we must ask what risks are created by a vastly expanded diplomatic complex in one of our busiest parts of London. Diplomatic premises are granted special protection, but those protections depend on trust. Trust that diplomatic privilege will not be abused. Trust that people exercising their lawful rights will not be intimidated. That trust has been strained and damaged. This mega embassy is not just an ordinary complex with secure internal areas far beyond the normal diplomatic needs. This is about capacity. Capacity that raises serious questions about civilians, intelligence activities, and coercive reach. And once that capacity is embedded, once permissions are granted, and the protections locked in, It's impossible to retreat, reverse, and withdraw. That is why this cannot be treated as an ordinary planning decision. Our planning system was designed to assess buildings, not geopolitical risk, transnational repression, or long-term national security consequences. Yet, we are told this approval is expected quietly, administratively, as if this were routine. That is unacceptable. And we must this decision is being pushed just as the Prime Minister prepared to visit China to discuss trade and investment. Engagement on trade matters, investment matters, but security. Trade should strengthen our country, not so. Investment should never come at the price of silence, self-censorship, and strategic vulnerability. A democratic nation does not demonstrate confidence by lowering its guard in moments of negotiation. It demonstrates confidence by showing that its values and securities are not bargaining chips. If this decision is rushed to smooth the dramatic optics or commercial discussion, that will send a dangerous message. That economic convenience outweighs national security and democratic principle. There are serious concerns about the process. If decisions appear to be determined before public hearing concludes, then consultations becomes performative, not democratic. Judicial reviews exist for precisely this reason, to ensure the decisions are lawful, fair, and not improperly influenced. This is not obstruction, this is accountability. The embassy plan is not anti-China. Let me say that clearly. It is pro-security, it is pro-democracy, and it is pro-responsible engagement. The Chinese people deserve rights and freedoms, not the global expansion of a system that denies them. So today, we call for three simple things: time, transparency, and accountability. Post this approval, allow genuine scrutiny, do not strain this long-term security for short-term convenience. World peace is not perceived by silence or sleep. It is preserved by force. Not like this, not without proper scrutiny. Britain, remember as one that trade principle for convenience and call it pragmatism, or one that understood the moment it was in and chose security, values, and responsibility. This is the moment to choose. Do not approve this plan, not now, not like this, and not at this cost. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon Chen. Unfortunately, we've been told that we have to end this event at 3:30 p.m. sharp. We do have one more speaker, but unfortunately, we don't have the time at the moment, so I'd like to make a closing remark. I'd like to thank every one of you for being here today. As campaign lead for Free Tibet, it's been an honor to announce each and every single outspoken speaker we've had today. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you individually for coming out today, for taking the time, for standing with us, for standing with truth, for standing with justice, and for standing with the people. So I wish you all a safe journey home. We'll find out the decision soon by the UK government. Regardless of what their decision is, we will stand unwavering. We will still resist the CCP, everyone here, and we will continue to work with allies and our cross-movement friends and our MPs across the House. So thank you all.